First, though, but before even giving you the rules, let's put it in context here. Texas is the most restrictive law in a country where access to abortion is already more and more restrictive as the years go on. Whether or not a woman has access to abortion right now depends on many factors. And to sort of boil them down, how much money do you make? What's your race? Are you brown? Are you light-skinned? Are you slightly darker-skinned? Are you low income? That has to do with your income, how much money you make. Do you have health insurance? What type of health insurance do you have? And where do you live? Do you live in a part of the country where there's easy access, an affluent community? Or do you live in the so-called abortion deserts, where in order to get an abortion, you actually often have to travel distances further than you really have the resources to do? So there's that context. And we've been seeing more and more state legislatures, Republican-controlled, yes, it is a partisan thing, Republican-controlled state legislatures enacting more and more anti-abortion laws or making abortion more restrictive. There have been, I think, 90 so far restrictive abortion laws enacted as of July of this year. Texas, the most restrictive, because while other states, about half a dozen, have passed the exact same law, almost the exact same law, called the heartbeat law, because you basically ban abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected. That's at 6 weeks here in the case of this law. While other states have passed these so-called heartbeat laws, Texas is the only one that's implemented it, and it's done it by basically not putting the enforcement of the law in any government or state authority, but basically making private citizens, total strangers, in other words, enforcers of the law by giving strangers, people with no connections to the patients, no connections to the abortion or the case, to sue the people getting the abortions, to sue them. And if they win that suit, to get $10,000. So technically, under this law, someone, which also is exempt in cases of rape and incest, it doesn't apply there either. So someone who rapes a woman can technically then also sue them because she tries to have an abortion, to abort the child that she had after that rape. And that person, the rapist, could potentially, hypothetically, win $10,000 from the case. That's not an exaggeration. That is a hypothetical but very real possibility under this law.
Now, it's been years now, Doug, since women's rights activists have worried that the right to get an abortion through Roe v. Wade is under threat in the United States.
Yeah.
Do you think what we're seeing now in Texas may be the tip of the iceberg and that more states may follow suit?
Well, it is the tip of the iceberg, and it's not even my opinion. It's what we actively see, what I just talked about. More and more states actually trying to take steps, and now more will be inclined to imitate the Texas law, in my opinion, even if it doesn't mean that the Supreme Court is going to rush right now to dismantle Roe versus Wade. You know, it's not all one extreme or the other. The judges might be cognizant or at least want to appear like they're not being partisan, that they're being very judicial, that they're giving proper consideration. They might not want to do it in one fell swoop, in one case. They're about to hear a case, the Supreme Court justices this autumn, a Mississippi challenging a Mississippi ban on 15-week abortions, which is slightly longer beyond the 6-week period in the Texas law. So that is going to be seen as a seminal, as a very, very big case going ahead. But let's not forget the judicial structure of the United States right now, the judges themselves, more and more conservative benches in both federal appellate courts and district courts. They are packed. There's about 220 Trump-appointed judges right now in those federal appellate and district courts across the country. And as we know, there are 3 Trump-appointed Supreme Court justices. That is inevitably, no matter how judicial they say they're going to be and above the partisan fray, that's inevitably going to influence the complexion of the debate and the way a lot of these laws shape up going forward. And yes, Roe versus Wade is absolutely in threat right now.